The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, also known as North Korea, is considered the most depressed country in the world. It is poor, it is dangerous, and it is isolated with no connection to the outside world. Does everyone want to know about what life looks like in North Korea? Although this question is kept as a top secret by the government of the country. However, many tourists who have visited the country have disclosed certain facts about life in the country. There live more than 25 million people in North Korea. It is a communist state that governs all the areas of the life of its people. The people need permission letters to travel across the country. Moreover, the tourists are allowed under very strict rules to visit the country. The availability of the internet is almost non-existent and limited to only a few people, including the military and the media. Even on television and radio broadcasts, only state channels are allowed. There are harsh punishments for someone who tries to listen to foreign news or broadcasts. The people of North Korea have no idea of what goes on in the outside world. Moreover, they don't know how the outside world perceives them. Even though North Korea projects its image as a strong nuclear country, it is very poor inside. The people live in poor conditions, with no access to basic life necessities. The equipment such as fridges, washing machines, and motor vehicles are very hard to buy for the public, and are confined to higher society only. The country relies on aid from the UN to fulfill the food and other basic requirements of its people. Besides all this, if someone tries to stand against the government or its policies, he is severely punished. A report concludes that there is a large number of prisons and labor camps where the government locks the people who go against its policies. The people are taught to treat their leaders as gods, and they are forced to not go against them. Religion is completely banned in the country with no Bible or Quran available. Also, any religious practice is completely banned. The highways have little to no traffic. It is suspected as the poorest country in the world. Besides all the poverty, the country has a beautiful tradition. It conducts sports marathons, galas, and Olympics. The people take good participation in these festivals. There are big statues of Korean leaders on the highways and buildings. The military shows are the most celebrated functions in the country. There is a great degree of gender discrimination in the country. Let it be the education or military, boys get more chances while girls scarcely get any. There are also seen sexual violence cases in North Korea against women. The question arises, do they allow visitors, and how? So yes, they allow visitors to come and take a tour of the country, but on some very strict grounds. It is considered highly risky to go there. Recently, it has banned any US citizen from visiting the country. If you want to visit the country, you have to book yourself in a tourist company beforehand. Secondly, you have to go through a proper training session, where they inform and guide you about the do's and don'ts, the things you are allowed to do there, and the things you should avoid. You can either take a train ride or an airplane to get into the country. After you enter the country, you are subjected to a deep, thorough checkup by the security forces. They check your bags, the books you carry, and even each picture on your phone. You are not allowed to speak about the leaders of the country. You cannot take pictures of the buildings and constructions. You have to stay with your tour group all the time. They only take you to the places that they want you to see. Even when you are leaving the country after the tour, you're again subjected to a brief checkup. The country is more like a prison. The Koreans can't leave the country. Recently, the new leader has increased the security concerns. These strict measures including its borders to be completely fenced and guarded by military and cameras. These steps have reduced the chances of South Koreans fleeing from their country. How North Koreans are considered most depressed. Since the government of South Korea is very strict regarding the rules of isolation. It never allows the visitors to contact its people. However, there are several studies conducted on the North Korean defectors to check their anxiety levels. Since 1995, natural disasters and economic hardships have led to severe food shortages in North Korea. As a result, the number of North Korean rebels has steadily increased, and more than 17,000 have settled in South Korea by 2009. North Korea's Chinese immigration population is estimated at 11,000. The actual number of North Korean migrants is about 30,000. A very few have been able to flee afterward because of highly strict measures. Steady growth has been observed in the number of North Korean adults with disabilities, including young people in their 20s, now working for about 40% of all North Korean disabled people. North Korean refugees face many dangerous situations, violence, and mental anguish before and during the escape, as well as during residence. Numerous previous studies have shown that most of them suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, anxiety, and depression. These psychological and mental problems can disrupt their quality of life and also their adaptation to life in a new culture. What is the condition of the military in North Korea? North Korea has the world's fourth largest military, including 1.2 million active personnel. The country is very inclined towards making nuclear missiles and bombs. In 2017, it fired missiles on Japan twice, both of which landed in the sea. At the end of the year, it also claimed that it has come up with a missile that can hit and destroy the whole US. However, in 2018, the leader of North Korea informed that it has shut down the nuclear testing sites in the country, and it will no longer test nuclear bombs. Do you think that the situation of North Korea will improve? Let us know in the comments section. Share the video with your friends. Subscribe to InfoSplash for more interesting content from around the world.